Umpire responsibilities as a fair foul. How do you move as the plate umpire? We're going to talk first about fly balls to right field. So in this situation, we do have an umpire in A, but the ball is going to be a simple fair foul call down the right field line, and our first base umpire is not going to go, and he's going to come in and pivot. But this also happens anytime that the base umpire is in the infield. So do plate umpires have calls down the right field line a lot? Absolutely. So let's take a look and just watch what the plate umpire does. Watch how he moves around the catcher, and just a few elements of the play, and we will talk about it. Cool. So in this play, it's a fly ball to the right fielder down on the line. It goes out of frame, but we don't need to know where the ball is. We're watching where the umpire is. Pitch comes in, and the ball is hit. And right here, I immediately know that, oh, wow, this is going to be a potential fair foul call. I can see my partner coming in, so I know this is my responsibility. The first thing you got to do is get your mask off. Mask is off with your left hand. Second thing you have to do is you have to clear the catcher to his left. If you clear the catcher to the right, look where the catcher's moving. The catcher's moving right. He's going to run into you, and you're going to get tangled up. You want to clear the catcher to the left. Then you want to get as far as the play will allow. So in this scenario right here, I can see the ball is starting to get caught, and then you want to get still. Same thing as when you're taking a play at first base or a tag play or any other kind of play. You want your head to be still when the critical elements of the play are happening. So in this case, I see that the ball is touched fair. All I do is point it fair, and then I come up with an outside. This must have been a pretty easy, nonchalant catch. Maybe a little below the waist, which is why I gave a mechanic, because sometimes if it's a can of corn, I don't even give a mechanic. But let's watch this one more time. We got plenty of these videos. Mask off the left hand, clear the catcher to the left. As far as the play will allow, get set, and make the call. Now, not every play is going to be this simple. So as you can kind of see as we unfold these videos, that some of them are going to get more challenging and a lot quicker. And so your reflexes are going to have to improve. Here's the second one. This one is also going to go down the right field line. All right, so let's watch this one too real quick. So a similar situation. Now we have runners on base. So before, pre-pitch signals, we're going to say 2 outs. I can really look at the scoreboard. It looks like there's 2 outs. I'm staying home at the plate, which means that if I have a fly ball, I'm not really going to go anywhere. I'm going to build my angle and be able to get set to where I can rule fair foul, but I have to hold my ground. I can't gain any distance in this situation. So fly ball to right field, mask off, clear the catcher. And if you look, the catcher is now in my way. And so I have to work even harder. Oh, he takes another step. And then I lean just a little bit further there. You don't want to move your body even more further into fair territory, because then your angle of how you're looking down the line changes. But again, it's hard to tell from this where that last little lean that I have is all about because the catcher stepped up one more step, and I've got to be able to look around him. So this is a fair foul call. Just point it fair. The ball is obviously down, and then the runners go to town. And one more thing quick to know is we have 2 outs. So now this is a timing play. I'm reading that the throw is going into the third base. And so that is why I move really big, because I have to be able to see the touch and the tag at third base at the same time. Now, this play isn't close, but still I'm in a position to where I could see it should there have been. Let's watch this play one more time. For whatever reason, I feel like fair foul calls down the line with a right field line are just seems to be easier than the third base line. I don't know why that is. Just in my experience, I just think that's kind of how the trend of the game is. So let's go talk to the hot box or down the left field line now. So different situation. I got a runner at first base, and this is going to be a fly ball down the left field line now. So this one is obviously a can of corn because I didn't give him a mechanic at all, but the mechanics of this is still the same. Ball is hit, mask off with your left hand. Ball is hit, mask off with your left hand. That's the first thing you got to do. Second thing, you have to clear the catcher to the left. The third base line, this is the easy one if it's a fly ball to the outfield because the catcher's not really going that direction. So you could easily clear him, get as far as the play will allow, get set, and then make the call. So he touches it fair. He obviously catches the ball fair too. It's corn, caught up in the air, which is why I just give a fair mechanic. I don't signal anything else other than that. Just it's a simple can of corn. This one's pretty easy, very right in line with what the right field one. Let's keep going. Gotta love a slide. Let's watch this one. Hey, so again, fly ball down the left field line. Now, this one's more of a line drive, and this is where it's starting to get a little scary because you have to judge when the ball is hit, you have to judge how quickly the ball is moving, how fast it's going to get on the ground, and everything. And so here, mask off with your left hand and get as far as the play will allow. Well, that's as far as the play will allow. I got 2 steps, and then I have to get to the line because the ball, it's one of those sinking, curving, line drives over the third baseman. And you have to be on the line for this. You cannot get beat by not getting your nose on the line. So the amount of distance that you get depends 100% on how hard the ball is hit, how high the ball is hit, whether it's tailing and all that. So this one is a really sharp line drive, and I have to get there really quickly. All I get is 1 step, nose on the line, and I point it fair. Let's watch this one more time. If you are, I'm just going to be really honest with you. If you are slow getting out of the box and you try to make this call from this position, you have what's called a parallax angle, which means that your angle that you are looking down a line is not the same direction as the actual line itself. And so if you are not completely nose on the line, looking straight down the line, your vantage point of the line is going to be skewed, which is why when you're taking these fair foul calls, you have to get your nose on the line. You have to move out of your stance. You have to be willing to jump up and read the play and get to the spot to make the call. Now, these angles, I went to Live Oak a week or so ago, and their new ballpark is wonderful, but they do not have a traditional press box, which made me kind of have to put my camera somewhere else. But it gave me some really, really, really awesome looks at at plays down the third base line. So here we go. We have it looks like a runner on first base because I don't see anybody on second or third. Run on first base, and let's take a watch. So very similar to the other play where you have to get to the line very quickly. So ball is hit, you read that it's on the ground and it's going towards third base really fast. So first thing, mask off with your left hand. Second thing, clear the catcher to the left right here. So now I hope that you can see this at your video at home. The ball bounces fair. The ball is fair there, fair there. It goes over the base and it touches fair. At that instant, as soon as it touches fair behind the base, that's a fair ball, which is why you see the pump. And then when he bobbles it and it goes into foul territory, hold the fair signal just a little bit that way so nobody has any question as to whether it's a fair or foul ball. Also, I want you to notice on this play, I don't gain any distance to this one. Again, it's clear the catcher to the left and get to the line. It's a very direct thing. I am standing nearly on top of the plate. And again, your instincts have to kick in at some point to where you can jump out of your stance, get that mask off, and get to the position where you can see this. Watch the next one. Well, that was the same one. Now let's watch the next one. So this scenario, there's no runners on base. And I know that, number one, because our partner's not on the inside, and number two, the plate umpire is moving up the first base line to the 45-foot line. So very similar play to the others, not quite as close, but it still needs a point. So ground ball, cleared the catch to the left, mask is off. He touches it behind the base. It's a fair ball. I point it. And I'm not just going to stick there. You've got other responsibilities. Congratulations. You called the ball fair. You saw that. There are other things left to umpire. You need to get up the first base line, get as far as the play will allow, and then stop. Now, here's one thing that I'm telling myself, Caleb, you need to do a better job of stopping. Because, again, critical elements of the play, you want to be able to be frozen. You want to be able to have your head still so that way you can see all the critical elements without your lens shaking, without your head shaking. One more time. All right, so this is the next play. And again, another similar play. We have a batter that let me slow it down. A batter that tops the ball. It's going on the third base line. The first thing you need to do is get your mask off with your left hand. Second thing you need to do is you need to clear the catcher to the left. Third thing you need to do is get as far as the play will allow and get to the line. Again, the play in this time, I was not able to get any distance to this one. I am now standing on the line. My foot is practically on the line. I'm watching the fielder, and it barely glances off of his glove. It tips his fingertips of his glove, and the ball changes direction, which is why I give the emphatic fair. And I'm trying to show here that it's tipped off of his glove. So obviously that he touched it, and I point it fair again. Now, in hindsight, if I'm watching my gestures seem frantic. I need to slow that down. Let's watch this on full speed one more time, and I think you'll agree with me. They look frantic. See, I'm watching that, and I just don't like the way that looks. It just looks very hurried, very rushed, and it could easily be confused that you don't know what you're doing. So, hey, Caleb, slow down, be a little more calm with your gestures, and still go through it. Okay? I have something in the chat. Let me check real quick. Cody, all the plays so far at Live Oak have been ground balls. They've all been grounders to the third baseline. All right.
Can I chime in on that one then?
Sure, yeah. Which one, the first, second, or third one?
The first one. Because you said something about waiting for it to land over the bag in fair territory. When if it's a grounder, as soon as it goes over the ball or the base in fair territory, that's when it's a fair ball.
That's a very good point, Cody. Thank you for that clarification. You're right. I did mislead people on that one. So this is the play that he's talking about. The ball is fair. The ball is fair. It crosses the front edge of the base in fair territory. It is absolutely a fair ball. Cody, thank you for that clarification. You are correct. Even if the ball is tailing over the base, if it's touched fair before the base, and if it crosses any part of the front edge of that bag, the front plane of the bag, it is going to be a fair ball. Thanks for that clarification. You're right. That was very misleading of me. I'm sorry, guys. Let's keep going. All right, let's see what Waco ISD has in store. Again, one more play just from a different camera angle now. That's why I put this one in there. So ball is hit, ground ball to the third baseline, just like all the others. Same thing. Number one, mask off with your left hand. Two, clear the catcher to the left. Three, get to the line, get as far as the play will allow. He touches this in front of the base. And because he touches it in front of the base, it doesn't matter where the ball is. It's now a fair ball. and we're going to point it fair. Again, this one doesn't need as much demonstration because it's obvious that he's in front of the base. He's obvious in fair territory. The biggest thing that I want to get with you guys is you've got to get out from behind the catcher. You've got to get your mask off so that way you can see these plays clearly. You have to get to the line so you can see these plays clearly. One more, and it's the hardest one yet. So we have an umpire who's showing, or a batter who's showing bunt. We have a batter who's showing bunt, runners at first and second, and let's take a look. All right, so this is a play where the ball is going to the third base line and the catcher is moving. So in order for me to see this angle, I can't clear the catcher to the left. I'm giving an exception to all the stuff that I've been saying. I must go right. Why? Because it's an immediate thing. If you look at the angle that I'm bending, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get my nose on the line so I can see directly down the line. And this is the hard part because the line starts at the point of home plate and then gets connected through the batter's box and then to the line. And so here I see that the catcher touches the ball and he's in the batter's box. But where he touches the ball is over the foul territory side of the batter's box. And the only way that I know that I got this call right is because my nose is on the line. And I can see exactly where he catches the ball. And this is where the parallax angle really comes into play. If you're calling this play from right, sorry, let me back it, there's a better freeze frame. If you're calling this play right here at the point of plate extended, you're going to be looking through it like that. It is going to appear as if it's a fair ball. And you very well likely will call this a fair ball. If you get your nose to the line, though, and you're actually looking straight down the line, you'll be able to see that, oh, wow, he is touching it in foul territory. This ball was foul by, maybe 2 or 3 inches, about more like that. But it was really close. And had I not gotten the lean, had I not gotten those real quick steps out there, I probably would have missed this call too. It's all about reflexes and knowing where to go. Another thing too is notice I didn't take my mask off. I knew right away that I did not have time even for that. Sometimes you have to umpire. Sometimes you have to just know where to go, where you're going to get to that spot, and then just see what you can. Yes, in a perfect world, get your mask off. In a perfect world, clear your catcher to the left, get as far as the play will allow, but there are always exceptions to the rule, and this is certainly one of those exceptions. Let's watch this one more time. So the biggest thing with all of this that I hope that you'll take away from this time is that you, as a plate umpire, when it comes to fair foul decisions, you have to move. You have to get out of your stance. You have to get your mask off. You have to get yourself in a position where you can truly see down the line and not guess. So that's my encouragement to you guys is when you're calling these calls from behind the plate, get out, move, get your mask off, and get to the spot.